There's a seat there. I don't know what it is.
I've got my hearing. Oh, it's probably post office.
Something to do with the traffic lights, probably.
Oh, I might have a sit.
I sat on that, you know, last time I
It's a long way from where
I've got various photographs of Liz Truss.
She loves her photo opportunities too.
Yeah, but I'm thinking back to the pre-COVID period. But I've got pictures of her walking through that area, completely unknown, wearing a bright red dress, big sunglasses with red lining. She was very much trying to sort of see. And she was going past the UKIP types who were, obviously there was a mixture of levels of intelligence and of human awareness. Yeah, it's a real weirdos, and none of them noticed it. Go round, come round. Move back. Good morning, all. Let me turn this down a bit. Slightly too loud. So, good morning, all. Wendell Dennell from StreetMic coming to you live and direct from outside of the Palace of Westminster, where we will be expecting Prime Minister Boris Johnson to be driven to the Palace for Prime Minister's questions. And in a few moments I will be interviewing a few people who are very happy that Boris Johnson's days as Prime Minister are coming to an end. And there is Steve. Everyone knows Steve, and he's a well-known celebrity down here, and I've no doubt he will be saying that Boris is a charlatan, a fraudster, and he is disliked by everyone. So let me interview this young lady right in front of me. So if you step forward, Mum, as normal. So let me just interview her, yeah. So, good morning. What is your name? Move back. You always step forward too much. What's your name?
My name is Salvia.
And stop leaning forward. So, tell me about today and why you've got such a great smile on your face.
Everything is falling apart around Boris Johnson. That he goes is a different matter because it's like a Teflon face. No matter whatever happens to him, he always comes out of it. But this time it's a little bit worse for wear because Sunak went, Sajid David went, and there are a lot of minor ones which are leaving. Even Lee Anderson, who was always a supporter, said he can no longer support him. Jonathan Gollis, another of his supporters, resigned last night. So there is a lot of hope. But having been born in Italy, where politics is a joke, I'm a little bit skeptical it's gonna go, because we are not living in normal times. Because British politics is really reached the level of Italian politics at the time of Berlusconi, and Boris Johnson is always finding a trick to get out of it. So,
tell me something. How did you feel yesterday when you discovered that 2 cabinet ministers had walked?
Well, I was really very happy because we were some foundation stones for him. But as I said, we'll have to see what's happening. But it looks like it's spreading like a wildfire. You know, people are starting to stand up and expressing, you know, their dismay at a situation which can no longer be defended, because the Tory party, amongst the others, seems to have been a nest of sex pervert. You know, every week there was a new scandal, a sexual scandal, no matter man, woman, underage people, and it's, you know, they lost all the credibility. So,
How long do you think Boris has as Prime Minister?
oh, some people say he might be gone before recess if a 1922 committee changing the rules. I do really hope, a part of me wants him gone before the recess. So at least we can kind of move on and, you know, change also the strategy as activists. On the other hand, if he stays over, it's going to damage more and more the Tory party. But I think the big wigs in the Tory party can no longer tolerate his antics, because they'll be losing by-election after by-election because of Boris Johnson. So,
Can you believe that less than 3 years ago, on the 24th of July, at the Queen Elizabeth Conference Centre down there, I was here, I remember it very well, and Boris Johnson was elected as the Tory party leader and Prime Minister, but less than 3 years, and with a 77-seat majority, they're about to kick him out.
well, people already knew what he was like. He has always been a liar, because he's got like a record of lying in all his previous jobs. He was unable to do the job. He only got it because he said he was going to deliver Brexit, which is not deliverable, as we have been finding out, no matter what kind of excuses people come up with. Yeah, I was here when he was elected, and we knew it was meant to be a disaster, you know. People like Rory Stewart would have been better to be in the place, because at least they're competent. He's incompetent, he doesn't have a clue, he makes it up as he goes along.
Do you think Dominic Cummings has had anything to do with Boris Johnson's demise?
Well, I suppose so, because he propped him up. And then he turned against him. I mean, Dominic Cummings called Boris Johnson the trolley, because he doesn't have any direction. So once Dominic Cummings turned on him, Boris Johnson has fallen apart.
And this young gentleman behind you, Steve,
Yes.
do you think Steve is feeling happy today?
I've got to go up there, so
Yeah.
Going up there today.
I'm rushing around, but
I'm following you up there.
I'm very happy.
Yeah,
So
he's very
Steve, let's try and get a quick interview, 30 seconds with Steve.
What's your megaphone?
There.
Exactly. We thought that last week, you know.
We thought they were going to
I can't do this. My MP invited me.
Excuse me, sir, how about the bell? Or do you not ring the bell before 12 o'clock? Ding, ding.
I will be doing it, but just got to sort out a few bits.
Yeah. So that's Steve. Everyone knows Steve. He's getting ready to make his way down towards Downing Street, where he will be doing his regular thing at the Prime Minister. And I seriously believe that Steve has a special relationship with Boris. I don't know what it is, but I think he really likes him. But for all of you who are watching, my name is Wendell Daniel, and welcome to StreetMic. And we are coming to you live and direct from the streets of London, outside of the Palace of Westminster. And at roughly 11:43, Boris Johnson will be exiting Downing Street, and he will be driven to the Palace of Westminster for Prime Minister's questions. And this could be one of the last times we will see the liar, the charlatan, and the dishonest man standing at the dispatch box answering questions. And all of you who do know me, my name is Wendell Daniel from StreetMic, and don't forget, give me the thumbs up, make your comments down below, share and follow. And this live stream will only be here for about an hour. So 12:30 we're done. There's some of that's the London ambulance. So Steve, just a quick 30 seconds. So Steve, yeah, I know, Steve, let's just stay there. Steve, it's a momentous day today. How are you feeling?
Well, look, it's good to see the back of these corrupt Tories. They're falling like flies at the moment, and the more that resign, the better. But we need a general election, but we also need proportional representation. You know, whatever our views, we all deserve to be represented fairly.
But you have been calling Boris a liar, a charlatan, and all kind of words for the last 3 years. But everything you've said is coming true. Just imagine Boris is watching. Talk to him.
It was true from the start. It's not just coming true. Yeah.
Let's agree, but talk to him. Just imagine he's watching StreetMic. What do you want to say to Boris?
Very interesting. Get
be
out
yourself.
of office, you lying, cheating, thieving charlatan.
Big up, big up, big up, big up. Thank you, Steve. I'm going to follow you down the road. Yeah. So Steve is now going to make his way down towards number 10 Downing Street, and StreetMic is going to follow Steve. And those of you would have seen, sir, are you enjoying yourself being down here in London?
It's lovely. I love it out here.
And how about for seeing Steve? Do you know that famous geezer?
No, I don't know, but I think that's Penguin from Batman, no?
Thanks a lot. So we're now going to follow Steve as he makes his way towards outside of number 10 Downing Street, and he will be slinging his usual stuff at Boris. So we're going towards the pawn office, as the sign says, don't run StreetMic over. So this must be one of the sweetest walks Steve is making, and we are now walking past this great office of state on the left of Steve, and it's called the Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport.
All falling apart now, isn't it? You're not backing him now, obviously.
The pawn office, sir.
So where are you looking for?
The pawn office.
Oh!
Foreign pawn office.
So have you been watching something dodgy on TV?
Tractors.
Damien Collins. Yeah, never heard. Serious. Yeah, he was a minister. He might have to keep up with all those changes. I must have gone on holiday that week. To the military of the war. Feel the sun. Yeah, that was Damien Collins.
Who's he?
He used to be the culture secretary.
All right,
Or, he was a minister, Tory minister.
So you must know all of these ministers by now, Steve, or former ministers.
Yeah, and they all know me, that's the problem.
They all want to take a photograph with you.
See that one there? Uh-huh. Those are Boris's close protections.
Yeah.
Johnson's close protections. Hey!
You can't interview Steve, you got to pay me.
Hello, how are you doing? All right? Yeah.
As you can see, Steve is known at the people to see Steve, and I felt it didn't like to be out on the streets with Steve.
I wouldn't wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
You love it, Steve. So Steve Bray has now arrived at the gates.
Tories out! Liars! Cheats! Charlatans! Get them out of office!
I'm sure they've heard you.
You don't need a loudspeaker.
I'll give myself a headache, I'm sure.
I'm looking for the foreign corn office.
Do you know what? We could go on the foreign office and blast through the arch. Too late now.
Yeah, so he's here every day.
So what could possibly happen is that under normal circumstances, Boris could come out of this office, of these gates, but quite often he changes.
Out! Johnson out!
Only one person.
Right?
No music today, Steve?
The amp's down there. I have got it though. Not ready to lose that amp yet.
So don't forget, if you like StreetMic, give me a thumbs up. Make your comments down below. Share and follow. And we're currently outside of the gates of number 10 Downing Street because we're waiting for the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, to be driven out. And what we are doing now, we are looking at the signs to see whether he will be coming out of this entrance or are they going to be slippery and take him out of a different entrance. But let's hope it is this entrance. But don't forget, if you like,
Falling like dominoes! Get them out! Bye, Boris!
I know, yeah, we've known him for years. Morning, Ruth, how are you doing? Bit warm. No pork pies for me.
so we're now being moved because what is going to be happening, it looks like Boris will be coming out of this entrance. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be following Steve and I'm going to stick to him like Boris does come out. He will be driven out of the gates and he will be coming in this direction.
Go that way, though.
You reckon, or come out that way?
Well, he's coming out that way, but he could go that way, this way, or this way.
Yeah. But regardless, we'll get him.
Yes.
So, Steve, you must get fed up with doing this every week, sir.
No, I wouldn't change a second of it. Yeah. Get these charlatans out. Like I said, we all need representation, whatever our views.
That's good.
And, look, there's lots of people that don't agree with me. There's lots of people I don't agree with. But I respect their right to protest, and they're entitled to their views.
Yeah. And what I do respect with you, Steve, you have your views and you're prepared to come down here every week at your expense to raise awareness, and that is great.
Yeah. Well, look, I got grandchildren, I got children.
Yeah.
They deserve a future, and with a government like this, hacking away at our rights, our freedom of movement. Look, people got Brexit, but nobody got what they voted. Absolutely nobody got. This government got exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
Full control. They said take back control. They didn't say it was for us. It was actually for them. And we all need to unite, get these out, and get some fair representation, whatever our views are.
But how long do you think it's going to take to get rid of Boris? Do you believe he will be gone before the recess in a couple of weeks' time?
He's going to be digging his nails in. He's going to have to be dragged kicking and screaming out of there. But as things stand, he might get to recess. He's going to go all out to get to recess. And we're going to go all out and make sure he can't get there.
Anyway, Steve, as normal, thank you very much for giving StreetMic this opportunity.
Thank you.
So what we're now waiting for is for Boris Johnson to be driven out of the gates, and that normally happens at 11:43. So what you're seeing now is an indication of exactly what happens on a Wednesday for Prime Minister's questions. And what is really great and what I can't believe is that on the 24th of July, 3 years ago at the Queen Elizabeth II Centre, just behind us, Boris Johnson became the leader of the Conservative Party and Prime Minister. And later that year he held an election and received a 80-seat majority. And are you loving it? And from an 80-seat majority, it looks like his friends and colleagues and ministers and other people in his party are going to be kicking his arse out of office. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
What is your name?
Jeff.
So, Jeff, what are you talking about the sign for the Pawn Office? Why you got such a sign in Whitehall?
Why?
Yes, why? You tell me.
It's the most depraved government ever. It's honestly, it's just totally and utterly depraved. Who are you with, anyway?
My name is Wendell Daniel from StreetMic. Have you never seen me before, sir?
No.
That means you never come out on the streets of London.
No, I don't often do this. I am a normal person, yeah, and I have a job, yeah. I don't do this all the time, yeah. But this lot just disgusts me. Disgusts me. I've never been political in all my life, but this lot are disgusting.
But can I ask you something?
Yeah.
When you discovered yesterday that two heavyweight ministers resigned, how did you feel?
I've been disgusted for about 5 years now, so honestly, it just grows and grows and grows. That's all right. I'm not really. So it just disgusts me, Mike. Just disgusts me. And enough's enough. There's only so much I can do on Twitter, really, isn't there? Sometimes you have to do something.
So if you look into the camera, just imagine the blonde bombshell Boris is watching. What do you want to say to Boris? Look into the camera and talk to him.
Jog on, Boris. Get out, mate. Enough's enough. You've done it. You've had your little career. You've trashed the country, divided it. Jog on. Do your after-dinner speeches for your hundreds of thousands. You've trashed it. Piss off.
Excellent. Thank you very much, sir. And as we look outside of the gates of number 10 Downing Street, what we can see is that the evidence shows that the gates are now being opened. Watch the signs.
So we've got an interview going on here with BJ. Job, £100,000. Good luck with the interview, madam. And we've got a pawn office. We've got a groping workshop going on over there. We've got a Tory donor lucky dip going on at 3 o'clock over there. It's a sordid little government.
Smiling.
The drivers all know me.
It might be empty.
Not going well, is it? Oh well, never mind. That's you out of office forever.
There we go, guys. Interviews with BJ. That way, mate. Are you here for the interview with BJ? No. It's a good opportunity, yeah? £100,000 job up for offer. Honestly. It's next to the Ministry of Malaysia, round the back, yeah?
So what is going to be happening soon is that roughly 11:43.
Foreign pawn office or the home pawn office?
So as I was saying, sir, let me ask you a question. How are you feeling being outside of the gates of number 10 Downing Street, knowing that Boris Johnson could be slung out as PM within days? You're not shy.
I don't really
understand what's going on.
No, I understand, but it don't really affect me. Well, it affects me.
Yeah. All right then. So where are you off to now, sir?
Trying to get to my next job.
And where is that?
By Mayfair.
All right then. But if you was here in 8 minutes, the Prime Minister would be driven out in front of you. But thanks a lot, yeah.
Prime Minister ain't putting money in my pocket. So.
So as we can see the sign up there, it's for the Pawn Office. And this is what it's like outside of the gates of number 10 Downing Street whilst we await Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his days in this office are numbered. We are expecting the 1922 committee to change the rules and for another motion of no confidence in Boris before the summer recess. So let's hope that Boris is kicked out of office. He has been a disgrace to this country. He has brought shame on the office of Prime Minister, and he should not be sitting there representing the great people of this country. But like I say, Boris has brought shame on the country, and let's hope that the 1922 committee do what is right, change the rules and get rid of him, because just like Steve says, he's a charlatan and he's a liar, and we cannot trust anything that Boris says. And can you believe it? The leader of this country, the person who sets the rules at number 10 Downing Street, he's having parties, he's having raves. Here's the police, they're doing their job. And, you know, it is shameful that our Prime Minister has been fined, he has paid monies for breaking COVID rules, and it's the same rules that he bought in, and he pretends that he didn't know. So let's watch. Let's watch what as normal we see. So the police, as normal, is trying to harass Steve. So we're just moving to a different position to ensure that when Boris does come out, he can fully hear everything that Steve has to say. So that's Steve Bray. And we all saw what happened last week. And yet again, here's the police. They're trying their thing as normal. So all we're going to do is to watch and follow and see what they are going to try to do.
Just let me shout clearly, that's all I'm asking.
All we're asking is you can shout.
This, I don't want to deafen you, but just let me, I just want to swing through. That's all. Yeah, just let me swing through with this, that's all I'm asking. I've done it every time for like 5 years now. We're no suffragettes.
So as we can see, the officers are just out here doing what they've been asked to do, and that's to ensure that everyone is safe. But in attempting to ensure that everyone is safe, they try to block or prevent us from doing what needs to be done, and that's reporting a fact. And what we are reporting and showing is exactly what is happening outside of the gates of number 10 Downing Street as Boris Johnson. And here's the liaison officers. These are the good coppers. The one in the blue tabards are the good ones.
jumping out in front of this.
You know how many times
I'm
it's
not,
passed?
I'm not saying you're going to, but that's just, I'm just coming to explain. Yeah.
I literally just swing through the car with it.
Not in my ear, though.
No.
No, do it in his ear.
That's why I was trying to explain to these two officers, I don't want to deafen them, and I'm not going in front of his car.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
because you know, as soon as you get in front of the car, they just get a bit panicky.
I know. And you've probably got, as well as the two armed ones there's a few, there'll be a couple over there somewhere. And, you know, he's not short of security here.
So you know them all.
Yeah, those are just the two I can spot. There'll be another 3 or 4 all the way down somewhere.
Yeah.
Alright.
Get my good side though.
Yeah. I just didn't want to deafen these guys. I was just trying to explain that.
That's all right.
I'll start there. I'll try and cut through you. I'll stop when I get to there and go straight, and that's it. That's all I want. There to there. I'll stop shouting briefly past you.
You
and
can
then...
shout all the way past.
Alright. It is loud, mate. Alright.
I've got bad hearing anyway.
They got too crowded over there. I can't.
It does get a bit crowded, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Victoria Atkins
As soon as he leaves here,
They're all resigning. Literally, they're dropping.
So as normal, Steve Bray is getting ready for Boris Johnson to leave number 10 Downing Street, and when he does, technically this live stream is going to be coming to an end because I got other things to do this afternoon. But it was important to be down here to capture everything that is happening. Don't forget, if you like StreetMic, give me a thumbs up, make your comments down below, share and follow. And what you can do is go on to YouTube at StreetMic Livestream, and also on Facebook at StreetMic Livestream, and also on Facebook at StreetMic Podcasts. So in a few moments, Boris Johnson, and here's the gates. Here's Boris. So Boris is coming out, and I bet he's going to say, "Big up StreetMic." So there's Boris. There is his Outriders. So they're now coming out. So that's the Outriders. So Boris is now, don't worry about me. So Boris is now going to be coming out of Downing Street. They're the Outriders blocking the traffic. Get out of the way, you. That car's in the way, look.
That car's blocking my channel. No, I won't come back.
I'm not going to go. There's Boris, he's going a different way. He's going to say, "Big up StreetMic, big up StreetMic, big up StreetMic." So there's Boris, he's going a different route. So he's gone a different route today. So we're going to try and get to, let's go.
Pavement, please. Onto the pavement for me, please. Thank you. Onto the pavement. You say that for me, please.
So that's Boris. He's now been driven into the Palace of Westminster from a different route, and he will be appearing on the dispatch box in 15 minutes for Prime Minister's questions. So this is what it's like to be on the streets of London as Boris is close to being deposed as Prime Minister, and all of these tourists who are out here today, they are getting a free entertainment and they're getting a feel of democracy in action. Sir, what do you have to say about Boris? What do you have to say?
Oh, the lying twerp.
Lies, that's rubbish.
Yep. Misogynist.
Utter rubbish.
No.
Utter rubbish.
I don't think we agree, this gentleman and I.
Do you believe he's brought shame on the office of Prime Minister?
No.
In spades. In
No.
spades.
Sir, do you like Boris?
Yep.
What's great about Boris Johnson?
He's the man for the job.
Why is he a good man for the job?
Why isn't he?
He's a crook. He's a liar.
Who would you rather?
He's a charlatan.
Who would you rather have?
I would rather have someone who has the national interest at their heart. No, regardless of names, they must have the interest of the country at heart.
He does.
So, no, let's be honest here. What do you really like about him?
He's a man of his word.
You're taking the piss.
No.
He's a liar.
We've got different views, haven't we?
No, of course, which is great, and that's what's great about democracy.
He doesn't represent you. He doesn't. He doesn't. It's my birthday today, and the best birthday.
So how old are you, 21?
Yeah, I wish.
Let me go. Thanks a lot. Let me follow Steve. I can give my opinion. I don't normally give my opinion. But on this matter, he's brought shame on this country.
They went that way. They went that way. So I ran from Downing Street to the tube station and got in again. I bet you didn't keep up.
I slightly kept up. For 90% of the time I did. But I've got to carry the equipment as well.
Yeah, the bike stopped by me.
Yeah. Steve, now you've seen the Prime Minister go into the House, what do you hope will be happening at PMQs and also at the Liaison Committee?
Well, look, I mean, he's going to get a new rear end chewed for him. I think he knows his days are numbered, but he's going to try and cling on as long as he can. He'll have to be dragged kicking and screaming. Either that, he's going to try and get to recess. And problem for him, we don't want him to get a recess. So you're sweating a lot there.
I'm sweating because I had to run with all of this equipment, but
that's true. That's true. I forget my advantage.
You forget. But there's the Liaison Committee today. Do you hope they're going to hold him to account also at the Liaison Committee?
Everybody needs to hold this charlatan and clown to account. At the end of the day, this is supposed to be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. What a shit show.
I can see the smile in your face, and I look forward to interviewing you after Boris has been deposed. But my final...
Do you know what? I want Nadine Dorries to be Prime Minister. You know why?
Go on.
That will be the final nail in the coffin for the Tory party forever.
But people were calling for you earlier on, Steve, to stand for Parliament and to become PM.
Nah, they were joking, but yeah, you know, that was just their way of saying thanks.
So, final question. Yeah. Tell me about you getting roughed up and arrested recently.
Well, I didn't get arrested as such. I wasn't roughed up. I was trying to hang on to my amplifiers, and they were just trying to get them off me. So it was a bit of tug of war, and in the end it became 20 against like 2 of us. So the odds were stacked.
Yeah. But in general, Steve, you're probably like me. We try to foster a good relationship with the police. Do you try to do that normally?
I do normally, but it's like any walk of life. You have your bad apples too. Yeah. You know.
Say no more, but as normal, thank you very much. I'm going in a minute. I have other things to do, but I had to be here to capture this historical moment, and thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you very much, StreetMic.
Big up, big up.
Big up for StreetMic.
Thanks a lot, man.
Once they go that way, find right.
Hi, I know, like in the poster.
Okay.
I love our creativity.
So I did.
This is who we are. We're a creative nation.
Sorry? I got this blocking my eye line slightly, but I didn't see anyone in the back. I'm concentrating on the back, and I'm concentrating on the back.
Yeah,
you never travel.
Find someone to hold. No, it's all right, thanks.
Sure? Have you got video footage?
Of course.
Hello.
I didn't want to cut across. No, you're doing an interview now. I didn't want to cut across.
I was feeling a bit faint, so I had to sit down.
Okay.
You only walk.
Yeah.
It's got a bit warm and close.
Yes, I am.
So at 12 o'clock, this live stream is going to be coming to an end. And, you know, unfortunately, I have other things to do today. But all I can say for all of you watching, I hope I've given you a chance to see and feel what it is like down here at Westminster. So there's old Steve Bray, and we got photographers. Everyone actually comes down here on a Wednesday, and that is what's great. We got many tourists who are out, and for me, to see the tourists returning to London, that is great, because London is the greatest city on this earth, and people are coming back. If you have a look around, they're not really interested in what's going on with Boris Johnson and his problems. What they're interested in, even a young gentleman with his child, he's out here today. Can I ask you a question, sir? Good afternoon, Wendell Daniel from StreetMic. What are you doing down here in Westminster?
I'm a tourist.
You're a tourist, so am I. Where are you from?
Australia.
Yeah? So you're from down under, yeah?
That's right.
Excellent stuff. Thanks a lot. So as you can see, we've got tourists who are out. We've got many people who are out. We've also got some excellent police officers. Yeah, there's only one good police officer that I know, and it isn't this one in front of the camera, because I can say that because I know he's not going to be offended. But the great thing, the ones wearing the blue, they are the liaison officers, and we try to get on with the liaison officers because there's a skill. If you treat them nice, if you talk to them nice, if you butter them up, you can get away with anything, and they don't harass you or nick you. We're laughing, or arrest you. But the ones in the yellow, you got to be careful because they'll rough you up, man. You'll get taken away. And you're just like Gavin and just like Kevin. You know, if you don't behave, you can get roughed up by the ones in yellow. And that is not what we want. Hold on, you've got the groping workshop.
Madam, are you here for the interview with BJ?
Excuse me, sir, can you tell me more about...
Lovely opportunity, lovely job opportunity.
Can you tell me more about the groping workshop and what the aims and objectives of that workshop is?
Workshop, it's how to grope without getting caught.
Yeah, but what's the skill?
The skill is to have a little fiddle without getting caught.
Hold on, can you demonstrate with your hands how to get do a little fiddle without getting caught?
Can I show you what's involved in the groping work? Well, you won't sue me, yeah?
Sir,
a
little
brush.
A little brush. Hold on. Are you saying
a little brush without getting caught?
Has it got to be discreet?
Come to my groping workshop, yeah, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, but what time does your groping workshop start?
3 o'clock. We got a groping workshop.
Yeah, but how long does it last? How long does it last? That's a question.
It lasts for as long as till you're satisfied.
So you can come down to London, even though serious things have been discussed. You can go to the groping workshop, the pawn office. You can have an interview with BJ. Hold on, the Ministry of what?
Fellatio.
What up? I'm from Barbados.
Okay.
What is? I thought that said phyllo pastry.
No, fellatio.
What's that?
Well, listen. Why don't you Google it?
No, I'm conducting it.
I'm not saying it in front of a police officer.
But don't worry about that. You can be discreet. I'm live streaming.
And that you can wrap a sausage with it.
Ooh, that sounds really painful. Excuse me, sir. Where's the bell?
It's over there. I have been ringing it a couple of times.
I haven't heard your bell today. What's been happening?
It has been rung. I'll do it again in a minute.
So come on, let's have a street mic interview, yeah? So Boris Johnson has gone into the House.
Yeah.
In a few moments, he will be standing at the dispatch box.
Yeah.
What type of questions are you hoping that the leader of the opposition will be asking BJ?
Oh, does it matter? He's looking there flapping around like he's like, you know, a crippled, wounded horse. It's like, ask him anything, doesn't matter. The obvious things are going to be, there'll be some jibes along the lines of, you know, is anyone else going to resign? How secure do you feel about your front bench? And all that sort of thing. It doesn't matter, it's a formality now. The man is flapping about, mortally wounded. He's toast. He's toast. The 1922 committee is meeting today. It's meeting today. That is extraordinary that it meets this soon. Because everyone was thinking, oh, well, they'll have an executive meeting next week and thereby they'll have a new executive. Maybe we get the new executive to change the rules. Forget it. The old guard are looking to change the rules. We could have, I'm not saying we will, we could have a vonk tomorrow. It's possible. And it would be extraordinary if it came on that quickly. But it is possible.
But can you believe it that on July the 24th, 3 years ago, at the Queen Elizabeth II Centre over there, Boris was elected as the leader of the Conservative Party and Prime Minister. He called an election later that year and he had an 80-seat majority.
Yeah.
And within 2.5 years, they're kicking his arse out of Parliament. Can you believe that?
They got him in to get an idea done, Brexit, and he was able to mobilise people to get it done because he promised everyone the moon on a stick. What is now hitting is the harsh reality of everything they promised was nonsense. It was nonsense from beginning to end. Of course you can leave the EU, anyone can do that, we're a sovereign nation, you can do that. But to leave the EU and everything be better was impossible. It was impossible. And here's one for you. One of the things they sort of said as an ideological point is that we have to leave because otherwise we have no sovereignty. It would not have been possible to leave the EU if we weren't a sovereign nation. So in leaving, we actually proved that we were sovereign. That was nonsense. The rest of it was nonsense, and now it's all starting to catch up with it, because he promised the moon on a stick, and it's all going to, I don't think you like me to use those words, but you know what I mean.
But you know something? I like you. I know you speak from the heart. And are you rejoicing secretly that Boris's days are numbered?
No, I'm rejoicing very openly.
I like that one. And changing the subject quickly, earlier on you told me about some video or film that you'll be making or releasing. Are you willing to share some knowledge with those who are watching, or is that a secret?
Well, no, it's not. It's just from the Vonk Day. The first, it's now probably going to end up now being called Vonk 1, because we'll have Vonk 2 tomorrow. And it just puts all of a succession of footage, some of it by you, some of it made by us, and also in the news reports where you can hear Steve and me and other people shouting in the background, to get across to the country the idea of how dissent is really powerful here in London. And, you know, I have so many people get in touch with me and sort of like say, well, you know, I'm not really sure about him, but the rest of the country seems okay. The rest of the country is not okay. We are being absolutely gaslit by media at the moment. We have such grief given to us by the media because we get in the background with our banners and everything. Well, here's a thought for you. The media are there to report on what's happening in Westminster. And one of the things that's been happening in Westminster all along is a very concerted dissent. People have been protesting all along. Some of that protest you've seen because we've made sure you've seen it. But the BBC and a whole bunch of other things would like to edit us out. The true fact of the matter is this country is torn down the middle. Except it was torn down the middle. Frankly, I think an awful lot of you have turned more to our side in recent years. Because you know you were sold lies. You know it. You can see it around it now. You know you were sold lies. And what's more, you put people into power who didn't think, oh, I know, we've got people infected with COVID. Should we put them into care homes or not? Oh, let's put them into care homes. That'll be fine. If you've got people who can't process that you do not put infected people into care homes and they're in charge, your country is in trouble. And we have one of the highest death rates in the Western world. Not the highest, but one of the highest. And death rate is not death toll. Death rate is per capita, and we are really, really high. And the reason we're really, really high is because the monkeys that we voted in, I didn't vote for them, but you know what I mean, have collectively voted in, are incompetent from the tip of their nose to the tip of their little cotton socks. And you're starting to notice this, aren't you?
People today and over the last few months have been calling for Steve Bray to be Prime Minister, metaphorically. Do you think Steve would make a great Prime Minister?
No.
Thank you very much. Nice to the point.
But I do think he massively contributes. And to be perfectly frank, if at the moment our choices of Prime Minister are Keir Starmer, Boris Johnson, or Steve Bray, well, if that's my choices, I'll go with Steve Bray. But it has to be said, I think this country somewhere can do better. There must be people who are professional-minded, who are serious, who look to the best interests of the country. These people must exist. They always used to exist. What happened to them? And it's part of our problem is that in recent times we've got hung up on the idea of a sort of personality cult. So Johnson is there pretty much because he's good value. You know, honestly, if he'd just carried on hosting Have I Got News For You, I'd have been right behind him. Great fun, lovely. What we need in a Prime Minister is a serious-minded person who's going to take on board everything that's going on in the world and steer us to our best interests. It's not fun. It's not a carnival. It's not a laugh. It's a very serious job. Half of Europe is either at war or is fearing that war might fall upon them very shortly. And we've got a clown in Parliament as Prime Minister. And, you know, yes, he's probably going to go very shortly. But, you know, look at some of the people who might replace him. They're clowns too. Where's all the serious people gone? Tobias Ellwood, a Conservative. He's a Conservative, and certainly I wouldn't vote Conservative after everything that's allowed to happen. But if he took over, we'd have a serious-minded man. We'd have someone there who I think could do a credible job, not my ideal job, but a credible job of being Prime Minister. So why isn't he sort of A, in the cabinet anyway, B, why aren't people rallying behind him and saying, hey, Tobias, get on with it. Good to say, let's get rid of the bloody clown and you take over. For goodness sakes, you're probably only here for 2 years, but do something sensible. There are people, but because they're not good value and they're not funny and they won't host Have I Got News For You, you don't look at them. You don't need that in a Prime Minister. You need a serious person.
As normal, sir, thank you very much for giving StreetMic this opportunity, and I look forward to engaging with you again next week, and thank you very much, sir. So we are now going to be coming to an end of this live stream because I have a lot more things to do elsewhere, and as I look around, you can see just how many people there are down here at Westminster, and I'm going to leave the last word before I close down to Steve, and we are closing down this live stream. So, Steve, I'm leaving you the last word because I'm now closing down. What do you have to say, sir?
Let's unite to get rid of the Tories. We'll argue over Brexit later.
Excellent stuff. So, Steve, as normal, thank you very much. And this is Steve Bray. He's not very well known. No one has ever seen him on Twitter or any of the news outlets. But, you know, I love him. And he loves StreetMic. So we're now shutting down this live stream because I have to be elsewhere. And thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. Thank you, Steve. Thanks a lot, man.